Top 10 NBA players of all time. This is something that we've done on TYT Sports a few times back. I know Rick did it when he used to be here. Ben has done it, but it's Ben, so that doesn't make really any difference. I am joined by Jock and Francis, but I want to go through my top 10 list. We will not throw you the cards until the end, so there's some suspense for everybody. All right. And here's the thing, commenters.
Am I allowed to boo?
You can boo.
Okay. Oh, I'm here just as a guy who's just going to ruffle fellas and annoy people.
Okay.
So here's the important thing to understand with this list.
Okay, make sure.
Here's the important thing to understand with this list. And the Bill Russells, Wilt Chamberlains, and Jerry Wests of the world, I am not denying their greatness. I am not denying that they were very important to the game of basketball.
Right.
I am denying them anywhere near the top 5 greatest NBA players of all time, for the sole reason that there was zero competition to go against, really, Bill Russell, because he was just a monster on the board. Yeah, he won 11, 12, 13 NBA championships.
Right.
He was a player coach, and I get that. Right. So my list starts with Jerry West at number 10. He's the logo. He's the fucking logo.
He's the logo. So he deserves to be in the top 10. Okay.
A 6'2" guard. I mean, I love Jerry West's game.
I feel like he was making such a big statement as an excuse before he started. Like, if I was making a top 10 list, I'd be like, this is my fucking top 10. Agree and disagree. This is what's happening.
Right. When he started, yeah, it was like he was on level ground when he started. But as soon as he mentioned number 10,
he's a little shaky. He doesn't want commentators to get upset.
I want them to understand as to why. And again, here's the main reason. When we get into 7, 6, and 5, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, in that order. The reason why I put Kobe ahead of Duncan is only because of the killer instinct. Duncan, although the big fundamental and 5-time NBA champion and the most consistent NBA player we've maybe ever seen, the 20-10 guy, for the day he stepped onto the basketball court, even back at Wake Forest, I believe, all the way through his NBA career and hopefully going into next year too, he was just, again, consistent. And that's important. And it doesn't matter where he would have went. He would have won championships on any team. Kobe Bryant, the killer instinct. Kobe Bryant he had a great tweet the other day, you can't win a shootout with a butter knife, in response to LeBron James and Steph Curry in the NBA Finals this year. I don't have to go through the numbers with Kobe Bryant. Right. I mean, he is one of the most unique players. His game, although very similar to Michael Jordan, there's too many other players that had too much of an important role in the NBA. Larry Bird at number 5, the first shooter, I want to say, in our contemporary version of the word.
I would say, yeah.
The mid-range game got developed a lot because of Larry Bird, and of course a major rivalry with Magic Johnson and the Lakers, as I was trying to go to. It was a perfect transition with the picture. Also one of the greatest trash talkers of all time. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it's weird that he fits into this, and I understand why. Because
I think it's weird that he's so low on the list.
You think that low?
Low, yeah, 4. He should be. Kareem should be 1.
Real? Okay, so don't worry. Do not worry.
I'm just, because that's just disrespectful, dude.
So, unbelievable. I can't believe you have Kareem so high, especially because I know you're a Jordan guy.
I'm a basketball fan. I'm a basketball fan first.
Of basketball.
And for you to put Kareem below all those other guys, if you talk to any of those guys, maybe except Jordan, because Jordan would be like, of course I'm the greatest of all time.
If I had Jordan, Kareem, and Kobe on the panel, I would be speechless.
Yeah, you would, yeah.
You would call them all the greatest just because they were here. No, but seriously, you're the greatest.
Yeah, the panel of greatness is what you have to refer to them as. I'm here, Jason, with the panel of greatness.
So why Kareem number 1?
I just think Kareem was such a dominant player, and people don't, because he has, I don't want to say softened, but he's taken a more social approach to his game, to his life in general, that people kind of think, well, how good was he? Like, he's pinning pieces for Time magazine. Like, how good was he on the basketball court?
Right.
I mean, his numbers prove it. I mean, if you look at any Kareem highlights, I mean, the sky hook alone should put him on the top 10.
It's in the top 3 greatest moves of all time.
Yeah, easily. And he was just so dominant in his time, but he dominated in a way where it wasn't flashy and in your face. It was just, I'm Kareem. I love the game of basketball. Assalamu alaikum, and I'm going to make a hook shot and win this game. So that's why he deserves to be number 1. Clearly, no question.
Also, get to the point that this is the reason I'm sitting on this panel for.
But why LeBron. 1, 2, and 3 as 1 Jordan, 2 Magic, 3 LeBron? I feel like on every single list, Magic never gets enough credit, regardless where he sits in the top 5.
Agreed.
Here's a guy who came into the league and completely transformed how the point guard position is played all the way till now. You could put Magic in any era of basketball, he would have dominated. And imagine if LeBron James' career ended today, that's Magic Johnson.
Yeah. Oh, I was just talking about this the other day. Like LeBron is like the new Magic.
Yeah.
Like he's just really huge guy, 6'9".
So happy you made that comp.
That can shoot. Magic was obviously more of a point guard than LeBron is, but he still dominated the game. I mean, Magic played every position. Like his first year in the league, he played center. Magic came in as a backup center,
right,
to help out on the court, and
they were like, he can handle.
Right, and for the rest of his career to be like the point guard for the Lakers, like that's crazy to go from 5 and now you're like the 1 to play, on the floor general.
What's amazing is, and you can say this both about Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, take Magic out of the 80s or take Larry Bird out of the 80s, and that player was your only player. You're talking 8 or 9 NBA championships if it wasn't for these two guys going head to head.
Going back and forth.
Really and that's why I always make the point. For me, basketball started in 1979, and that's, again, no discredit towards Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. They are legends of the game, but I undercredited Jerry West earlier, but Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell, no way do they average 50 and 25. No way do they come even close to those numbers against the competition today. LeBron, if you put him in 1965, would have dominated. So would have Jordan, so would have Kareem, so would have Bird, Kobe, Duncan, all those guys. You take any of those 3, 8 through 10, and put them in today's game, they might not be all-stars.
I don't know. I think Wilt was so big. You know what I mean?
Well, big, but like thin and scrawny.
Right. But obviously he'd have to bulk up some, get him some protein, a little bit of protein. But I think Wilt would still maneuver, and make his presence felt today. Like, I mean, another guy that's not on the list is Shaq.
Yeah, he's close.
Like you just like completely ignored Shaq.
There's only 10.
The most dominant center in the game. The most dominant. Like no one.
I'm aware.
No one today or previous.
So, I know you wrote it down. We don't have to talk about Jordan. There's a reason why he's number 1, and that's been told a million times.
I'm interested in where you're putting LeBron James.
Yeah, where do you put LeBron? I put LeBron at 3 just because.
You put LeBron at 3. That's a tough conversation with LeBron. I see him in the top 10. I no doubt see him in the top 10. He's a dominant player. Like his skill level, his natural instincts are just off the charts. So I would say. I would have to put him right below Magic. So if we're gonna go Wilt, Magic, Wilt, Jordan, Magic, maybe LeBron. No, see, I don't want to put him above Larry, because Larry was so deadly, and
that's what gets so difficult about
this
list.
Duncan is such a different player. He wasn't explosive and like things like that.
But he's got to be there.
But he's got to be there, and like people like Shaq and. I mean,
do you have Shaq as like number 10 or 9 on your list? Is that
I would definitely put Shaq in the top 10.
It's not a bad argument.
This is something I need to bring up to you, Jason, that I'm afraid is like something that I've heard before in every sport. I don't think it's fair that you can compare these guys on a list based on how the game is now. Because every game adapts and every game changes. Technology is advanced, rules change. Football is a lot easier for me because the rules didn't change that much. But people will, in Messi's case, will still compare him to Maradona. Maradona won a World Cup, but it was a lot easier to win a World Cup then. Well, if you take Maradona in his prime and put him in this situation, he'll adapt to this game. He'll learn how to play this game the way it is played now. So if you take your basketball legends that played at that time, especially someone who, if you're mentioning guys that have the same size, if you put them in this environment now, how do you know that they wouldn't just adapt to the way the game is if they're trained to play in the way the game is today?
Because it's a big what-if situation. And, the thing with that is, yes, Jerry West, amazing basketball instincts, no doubt about that, not compared to where the game is developed to. And, of course, if Jerry West was born in 2010...
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think.
Sure, I just see how the game's developed and how it's changed, and some of these guys are just from freak size.
Well, I mean, we'll think about it this way. Steve Nash wasn't expected to be a dominant player in this world.
Yeah.
Like you could compare Steve Nash to Jerry West.
You can't. You know what? That is a very good point. But my response to that is, if that is the comp, Steve Nash never won a championship. Therefore, Jerry West.
So that leads into my question then. So how much does accolades come into your guys' list? Because we've had this clip on before.
If accolades came into the list, Robert Horry would be the greatest of all time.
It's true, but so when we make the list, when we talked about who's the best player in world football, or any other sport, we did a clip when we asked how much does winning titles have your legacy lived on? Because for me, when I think about greatest of any sports, is someone who is fantastic, of course, and has the talent, who transcends the sport sends it worldwide to the point that like Pele for soccer is. So like, who does it for basketball? Who transcends the sport, but also needs to win trophies? Because the best players will win trophies.
That's why my top 5 is rounded out that way. Those top 5 players all transcended the sport. Kobe, I'm sorry, just the only reason is because your game is so much like Michael's that you didn't transcend it.
Right.
But Michael, Magic, LeBron, Kareem, Larry Bird, I know we're in agreement here with these, completely transcended. In whatever order you want to put those guys in, they all took the game and brought it to a different level.
I would say definitely Michael, Magic, and Larry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brought the game. Like the 80s was a special time in basketball where it was just really starting to explode. It was going onto the world stage, and Magic, Larry, and Jordan were like the 3 kingsmen to usher the basketball into a new era as far as popularity worldwide, things like that. And like they paved the way for guys like LeBron to be the huge stars that they are, for guys like Kobe to be the huge stars that they are. Without those 3, like I don't think LeBron, Kobe, and those guys would be even AI would be as big as they are now.
Yeah, it's a good.
And the final point is, I mean, which one of these guys defeated the Monstars?
Michael,
That is where you have to. That's where
It's
you
a
have to
major
just
reason.
tip the scale.
It's a major reason. It's also why like Jerry West has to make every top 10 list. Because again, the point, he's the fucking logo.
He's the logo. Like if you're the logo, like you are the NBA.
Like you can make the case you're the greatest of all time because you are you're an icon.
You're
actually a
iconic.
brand.
No matter who wins a trophy, you're still always going to be on the trophy.
Like
you know?
while a lot of players are wearing Jordan shoes, everybody is wearing your jersey.
Wearing. Yes, exactly.
Everybody's playing with your basketball.
Yep.
It's a really interesting point to think about.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good point. So, I mean, that's interesting because
Might be Steph Curry in 10 years.
Whenever you see a list that I've made before, I judge it on any of the sports that I've followed, like even not just soccer, but in golf and everything else, and people will put Tiger at the best and compared to Jack Nicklaus. And the only thing you can kind of come down to is who wins the most trophies. And I think for individual sports, it's easy because you're literally, you need to win the trophies. You don't have a team around you. It's up to you. Right. So some of the best players can be on a team that just isn't up to par. Did those guys not get added in as much? Because you said there's Steve Nash, from what I understand, when it comes to America. It's just been one of the best assisters, especially
Steve Nash isn't like the top 40 all-time greatest.
But it's just unfortunate with these guys that don't like Steven. He reminds me a lot of Steven Gerrard in terms of football.
Actually, yeah.
One of the best midfielders that I think that I've seen play. Never won an English Premier League, which is his domestic league. It's hard to put him into the top best and the best players in the world because he hasn't got those trophies to back up. The best players, as much as they are amazing, they'll have the accolades.
Yeah, I mean that's even like Charles Barkley. Like he never won.
Round mound to rebound.
Round mound to rebound. Like he was such a force in the league, but his stats don't. Or I should say not even his stats. I should say his accolades.
It is crazy that with like real quick those type of players, like if let's say Steve Nash won 2 or 3, would he be in there?
He'd be in a different. It'd be a different conversation.
Would if Charles Barkley won 2 or 3, would he be in there? Hakeem won 4 or 5. Would he be in there? It's like it's such an interesting, list. But that is why I have those legends later. For me, basketball started in 1979. That's just when the game started to look like it does today. There you have it. Top 10 greatest NBA athletes of all time. Not NBA athletes, really, just the top 10 greatest players of all time. I know you are all in complete agreement with my list. So all you need to do in the comments section is go, great job. Love this clip. Jacques going to freak out. You can follow Jacques at Cousteau, at Francis_Maxwell, at JasonRubin91, at TYT Sports. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave all your comments. Leave your lists. Leave your thoughts. Leave all your praise for me and Jacques' lists in the comment section.